Welcome to this episode of Star Wars Declassified, where we look into different facts and stories revolving around the Star Wars canon universe and lore. At the end of Star Wars The Last Jedi, we see Luke Skywalker arrive on the battlefield of Crate for a showdown with Kylo Ren, looking very different than how he did beforehand in the movie. He was younger, clean-cut, and had no grays in his hair. When seeing him again, Kylo in anger orders his Walker forces to attack Luke all at once. However, once the dust clears from the massive barrage set upon him, Luke is still left standing, untouched. Kylo Ren soon comes down from his shuttle in order to face his former master once again and for the final time. However, each time he attacks, Luke is seen only dodging Kylo's blows and not responding with any attack himself. Once Kylo finally does land a hit on Luke, it appears to not have any effect, with Luke disappearing as if he wasn't there at all. We afterwards cut to Act 2, seeing Luke levitating and summoning the Force to create an astral projection that embodied the version of himself that Kylo last remembered seeing, as Luke never actually intended to fight Kylo, rather to only stall him in the First Order in order to give the remaining Resistance fighters a chance to escape. This ability is the first time we've ever seen or even heard anyone in canon ever accomplish, which brings the strong possibility that it was Luke Skywalker who was the first Jedi ever to realize such power. As well would it also symbolize that Luke may be the strongest and most powerful Jedi ever in existence. Well, at least until Rey, that is. Interesting enough, this Force projection ability, while new to canon, has already been explored quite a bit in the expanded universe, now known as Legends and no longer canon material after Disney's purchase of Star Wars. In Legends, there were actually two types of Force powers similar to this, one for the Jedi and the other for the Sith. The first was called Doppelganger, which was a Force power that allowed a user to create an illusion of themselves through the Force. The Force user could perceive all of the Doppelganger senses. Of course, this would not be everlasting, as the Doppelganger would fade away if the Force user was injured and ceased using the power. Luke Skywalker himself even used this Force power, and it does seem fitting that he would now use it in canon as well. However, the Doppelganger was not as believable as Luke's projection in The Last Jedi, and the range it could be created was also limiting, which brings us to the other similar Force power that was used by the Sith, called the Force Phantom. This was the product of a Sith ritual that allowed a Darksider to create a lifelike apparition from the Force energy of a life form and project them across the expanse of the cosmos. This ability required considerable mental reserve and strength of will, and when these phantoms were defeated, so would the being to which the phantom was anchored to also perish. To me, it seems that the Force projection that Luke had created in The Last Jedi was actually a combination of both these two Force powers from Legends, as Luke's projection perceived his senses just like that of the Doppelganger, but yet also brought the believability and ability to project himself across the galaxy just like the Force Phantom. In addition, it could also be argued that just like the Force Phantom, once his projection was defeated, so was he. However, I simply believe this was more of the case of Luke no longer having any more power left in him to continue the projection, and that he was literally using his own life force to create the projection itself, which in the end would explain why he disappeared into the Force. But that'll do it for today. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars related content. And if you still want to continue the conversation, then definitely join us on our official SYLO Discord channel. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.